I was arranging free health care for several of the very sickest firemen, and I was doing that through the fire union. And so one day my paths crossed with the union official, Rudy Sanfilippo, and he thanked me for what I was doing for the firemen, and then also said, I understand that you have a website. I said, yeah, September11.net. Several of my friends in the NYPD had been driving me into Ground Zero to shoot around the perimeter, and he looked at it, and the next day he called me and he said, how would you like to be the only one in the world to document the recovery, provided you follow some very strict rules? And I said I'd be honored to. And that was in October of 2001. I was mesmerized. It was like entering the Grand Canyon. It was nothing like you'd see on TV. It just swallowed us up. I had my camera equipment, and I was so taken by what I saw that I didn't even take my camera out. And one of the big Italian union guys said, well, you know, aren't you going to take the camera out and start shooting, Sparky? And I said, yeah, in a minute. I just had to digest everything I was saying. When I first began, yeah, they were going to break my hands. They knew who I was. So I had a guide, though, and he introduced me to all the chiefs, and then the chiefs would say, this is Gary Marlon Suson, and he's shooting on behalf of the union. And then, but once they got to know me, they really made me one of their own. I became one of the guys, and they would joke on me and say, here comes Ansel Adams. Hey, Ansel. They'd tease me a lot, rib me in fireman fashion. Yeah, I would sleep in St. Paul's Church, and 9 times out of 10 I wouldn't sleep more than 90 minutes because I'd get a call from down in the hole and say, Gary, get down here. They're always looking out for me, so I didn't sleep much. I knew that what I was doing was going to, it was worth it. I'd catch up on my sleep in 2002 eventually, 2003. I thought it was my moral responsibility to erect a museum so the public and also the families would have somewhere to come. They walk in and they're very stunned. It's like crossing the security gates at Ground Zero and walking right into our world. Everything that is in here is 8 months of my being there. And as I discovered each piece, it was monumental for me. So when people walk in here and they immediately get hit with 8 months of images and finds, it's overwhelming for them. But everyone has said the same thing, and that they feel it's respectful and they feel that it's tasteful. And that's like the highest compliment that I can get. At the end of the recovery, I was given permission to release the images. So I called the Times, and they were very fascinated, and they did a huge story called From a Camera at Ground Zero, Rare Photos of an Agonizing Dig. And then that just unleashed this whole media gauntlet that I wasn't quite prepared for. And CNN did a worldwide story, then Fox, and everyone just followed, and it became an international story with my images. I had a role to do. I did it to the best that I could do it. And so on this day, to answer your question, I think about the families. I think about them. I say prayers for them, and hope that they stay strong.